Hey everyone, this is TLC with what I'll call a guide for the new fighter coming out this Friday the 22nd. His name I believe is pronounced Ne Zha. I'll post a link to a pronunciation video in the description. You can check out his kit by going to the event calendar, clicking on his special invocation, and then clicking on his icon. The thing I want to talk about is his weapon switching, because I think it's a little weird, and it's going to be extremely powerful. Ne Zha uses three weapons: the fire-tipped spear, the universe ring, and the yin-yang blade. Every time he switches between them, he gets plus 10% damage for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. His artifact does basically the same thing, starting at plus 5% damage for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times at level 1. So just with those two pieces, you'll get to do plus 15% damage every time he switches weapons, all the way up to 45%, and his ultimate increases that to 75%. So incredible damage happening from weapon switches, but how do those work? Well, the spear and the ring are the primary weapons. They're on the basic attack. Anytime there's only a single enemy in range, he uses the spear, and if there's multiple enemies in range, he uses the ring. So if you have a group of enemies approach, he should use the spear on the first, and then switch to the ring after that. That means any group of enemies will get a single weapon switch at first, unless they come in exactly at the same time, and then possibly a second weapon switch near the end. At no time during normal combat does he switch to the blade. He only switches to the blade during the ultimate, where every attack has a 35% chance to use the blade. So the ultimate doesn't specify, but if you watch the video, it's doing this stun and constant burning damage. It's increasing his range, but he's also still attacking the entire time using basic attacks. Now, this is interesting because it means that during the ultimate, he's constantly switching and quickly stacking damage. Basically, 2 out of every 3 attacks will use one weapon, and the third will use the blade. Since the buff lasts for 10 seconds and stacks, you can easily get that switch happening 3 times during that 10 seconds and keep stacking it up. But if you're fighting a group of targets, you'll likely only have the 10% damage buff unless you're popping his ultimate, because you'll only switch the first time as they come in and then not again. Same thing with a single target. He's only going to be doing actually no damage buff if it's a single target, unless he pops his ultimate. Now, his passives give his single target attack the same bonus that Silas gets to ignore 50% damage, so he should do comparable damage to Silas on bosses and elites. And if you watch Prospector's video, you can see he does amazingly well at GR1. I'll post a link to that as well. What I really look forward to is seeing him in Malric's Halls, as that dungeon frequently switches between multiple and single targets, and it should give him a lot of opportunities to do really big damage. If you found this video helpful and would like to see more explanation guides for heroes, be sure to drop me a like and a comment, and especially subscribe. Thanks for watching.